as I love this. The players, they just blaze through their vetoes, and we're already into our next series.
Yeah, they know exactly what they want, and now let's see if they're gonna get it as we begin this series here on Def Aura LE. We're in the top left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top left-hand corner. The pink Protoss player, he is coming down from the land of Korea, but representing the land of Po, that being Poland, representing Alpha X. He is not abstract, but he is ArT.
And spawning in the bottom right. By the way, you can have abstract ArT.
Yeah, you can. Wait, what did I say?
You said he's not abstract.
Yeah.
We have the South Korean Zerg player. He is red, representing Team GP. He is returning after a very long hiatus. It is Gamja.
Unless it's not pronounced ArT, it's actually ART.
I mean, it is a capital A and a capital T.
It's more like ART. RT. Arty?
Arty? Oh.
Arty?
Maybe. We should ask him. We should ask her, really, out of all people. Like, she'll know.
We really should. It's probably a word in Polish that stands for, like, paint.
Stands for abstract, mate. Actually stands for beef. Oh, God. Ay. What have we done?
But
what have we become?
He hasn't had a stroke yet, so.
He hasn't had
He's become beef, so.
Which is a good thing. It's a very good thing. Oh boy. As we are slowly, very tasty. What? We are getting into the swing of things. So far everything is pretty standard, and we have talked about this map before. Like Death Aura, it does feel like a little bit more of a favored map depending on your playstyle as Protoss. And even though we have casted this player a couple of times, I don't quite remember if ArT is one to really embrace the Sky Toss.
Well, I just looked on his Wikipedia page, Light, and under trivia it says he is expressed his fanness, is that a word? Fanboyisms of SOS. So yeah, I think we might see a Stargate, but not in the same way that most other Protoss players are using it at some point in the series, I mean.
I hope so. I hope we get some proxy Stargate. It's been a while since we've seen some cheese. I feel like a lot of Protoss players feel like they don't need to anymore. But
yeah. Like, oh, Trap and Sats have shown us that we can actually, like, macro. You know, Patience is lurking in the dark corners like, you fools.
Oh god, as he didn't qualify for Code S.
He did not. He didn't qualify for Code A.
Yeah, that's it. He didn't qualify. Oh man, feels bad, man. He was the... my heart.
He would have been a player to watch, really, but yeah, a little unfortunate how things turned out.
Oh. Wow.
Meanwhile, oh, good. Actually, really good defense so far from Gamja.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty good for both players. For ArT to be able to target fire that many drones. It is only 2, but to be fair, it's also only 2 adepts. And Gamja only losing 2 drones.
Yeah. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but Gamja actually like body blocked and like made the adept a little bit stuck there, and it did go down. So that was really impressive. As he does clean things up, and we did see ArT did open up with a Twilight Council, and we see, man, it's not just a Twilight Council.
I was 100% expecting some Glaive Adepts coming our way. Maybe a early charge build, because that's what we sort of seen from our regional Protoss players this weekend. But ArT once again proven that he is a little bit, he takes another step forward in that SOS school.
Yeah, exactly. We are going to have some DTs. This is a lot more old school, which is very interesting. Again, he's going to be moving out, going to morph in a couple of DTs, deal some damage, maybe morph in a couple of Archons afterwards. And if we quickly take a look at what Gamja has, he is throwing down his spores now. One at each mineral line. Nice. It looks like they will finish up in time before the DTs get here. On top of that, he is also working on his lair, so he should eventually get an Overseer.
Yeah, these ZTs shouldn't do too much here for ArT, but the Archons might be able to get quite a bit done. I'll have to see how ArT micros it.
Yeah, it's also important to note that I was about to say DTs can still get on top of the sport, but there are plenty of Lings here. Like, yeah, they're not gonna achieve anything.
Immediately surrounding them. Well, still a couple of Lings.
Yeah, it's not ideal. He also, because of that as well, he has to be careful. When he does decide to morph in his Archons, if Gamja is aware of where they are and where that's happening, then the Lings can get on top of the Archons and deny them.
Yeah, one of the best things you can really do as a Zerg player, if you know your Protoss opponent is doing this, just keep your eyes on that War Prism. That's really what they want to be active with.
Oh boy.
Alternatively, you can also go for a bit of a counter harass here. Puts a little bit of pressure on your opponent.
Yeah, he was able to kill a couple of Adepts. He wasn't quite able to force a denial on the third base because DTs were warped in defensively. At the same time, the Archon was morphed in for ArT, so he can, find some damage, but it is only one Archon, not your typical two.
Yeah, lacking a little bit in the gas department, it seems,
Yeah.
so wasn't quite able to get as many DTs as he would have liked.
Yeah, a lot of that was because he was forced to morph in DTs at home. Otherwise, he would have been able to morph them across the map and get a couple of more Archons in the end. So, yeah, ArT just hasn't really been able to do too much here with his opening, and things kind of slow down.
Really will. And we may very well just see that scenario once again, where the Protoss player goes up to 4 bases and then works on their late game army. ArT doesn't really strike me as a late game Protoss player, and is kind of building up for a bit of a more mid game oriented push with his +1 and his blink and a couple of immortals. So yeah, just a bit of an updated Soul Train.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing what he can here, and it looks like the DTs will deal some damage, a surprising amount of damage, despite the detection being here.
Yeah, detection is one thing, but actually having units to take out cloaked units is a completely different thing. ArT with some really good multi-prong, distracting Gamja for that long. Takes out quite a number of workers, actually. ArT is overtaking the worker lead, and they're both on even bases.
Yeah, on top of that, killing off a couple of Overlords here and there, a couple of Queens, just barely saving that Archon. At the same time, I was about to say, what is Gamja really doing here? Like, it feels like he hasn't really teched up, only just now is he getting his 4th base, but I do see, okay, so what his plan was to harass a little bit with this Dropper Lord. Oh, he doesn't even have 2%!
Oh, this Dropper Lord is gonna get there so slowly and late.
I saw him morph in the Dropper Lord. I'm like, oh, nice, he's gonna go for some drops, he's gonna try and harass and maybe multi-prong, but it's, oh god, it takes him so long to get in.
Here. We'll see what they can actually get done. He is slowly floating over this pylon.
At the same time, Roach Ravagers trying to hit the front line, except there are plenty of Immortals, plenty of Sentries to wall off as well. You need your Ravagers here, so Gamja, he's going to try and multi-prone, but the Lings, they get defended against.
That they are. I mean, the supply cap is honestly pretty good right now for ArT. He's going to be unable to warp in for a little bit of a while longer. The Ravagers have finished up right now for Gamja, so now he's looking to really hit with everything he's got. He's got his +1 range, and he's working on his +2. But this is not really going to be the end for Gamja. He's not all in or anything, but he does want to at least kill the base.
He wants
some way for him to get ahead.
Exactly. He doesn't just want to trade against army. And right now, the bios are decent. A lot of roaches are going down. Ideally, he's able to pick off an immortal or two, as 4 immortals are the backbone of this army. But so far, he's really struggling to break the 3rd. Oh god.
He very much is. Really good force fields coming out from ArT. I feel like Gamja might be underestimating how important it is to get rid of force fields. He is hard overstaying his welcome. Oh, a bit of a mini flank, but nope, never mind. We're just completely cleaned out. He even biles down his own. Ouch.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I thought he was gonna get the Observer.
Yeah, he's trying to bile and I mean, A for effort, right? But at the end of the day, the War Prism stays alive. All 4 Immortals are still alive as well. One of them is kind of bucking out here. Really cute by Gamja. Yeah, he was trying to wall off with Changelings, but now this is scary because Gamja lost a lot of army, and now it's the opportunity for ArT to be aggressive and go across the map.
Absolutely is. A couple of these battles do land, or they land on an Archon and an Immortal, so yeah, not the most effective use of your corrosive battles here.
Yeah, exactly. At the same time, I'm wondering if the Immortal is still back there. I was
it's trying to make it across the map.
Honestly, this is huge. Like basically making sure that one of these Immortals, the high health Immortal, being not part of the army, not part of the fight, like that was amazing.
Yeah, honestly, it bought Gamja a lot of time. The trades were a lot more efficient for ArT in the end here, but Gamja didn't take any economic damage in that.
Yeah, like if that fourth Immortal was with the main army, it's quite possible that ArT would have broken through and like just started to lay siege upon this fourth base. So really nice moves there by Gamja. He was able to stay alive, but to what end? I was talking about it earlier. Where is he taking towards? Like, what's the plan here for Gamja? Because I don't see a Spire, I don't see a Hydrogen. He's working on an infestation pit for Hive, which is great, but like, what is he just going Roach Hydra like Viper? Sorry, Roach Ravager Viper. Like, is that the plan? Like,
that's all you need, honestly.
Also,
more. Whoa, okay.
There we go. There it is.
I don't think I've seen this in DVP for a long time, Light, and that just speaks to Gamja. He has brought back the
Heart of the Swarm.
It's Heart of the Swarm. He's brought back the ancient techniques.
I was about to say, who are we casting? Is this Cham? Is Cham in Korea? Is that what's happening right now? Because Swarm host coming up. Again, there was a period of time where like this was a little bit more common. Like even last year we saw this a little bit more often in 2020, and even 2019. But especially with Nidus's, right? Like there was a big error there with Nidus Swarm host. But yeah, really interesting composition by Gamja. We'll see if it works out. Oh god, he has to be careful. Storm is done.
And that's absolutely what you want against, specifically Locust, but they deal decently against Swarm hosts as well. Locust coming in from the back. High Templar very exposed, even with Storms. There we have it. Storming his own army right now, and the Templar completely sniped. That was the big game changer right there for ArT, and it's completely been taken out. Gamja, he's hitting with all the momentum he's got.
Exactly, just like that. Every single High Templar and a couple of Immortals were taken out as well. Now Gamja, the problem is, and the biggest problem with Swarm Host is that, like, just like that, a lot of your supply is inert. It's just useless right now. He has to wait. He has to buy time for another Locust wave.
Yeah, Locusts have a lot of momentum, but Swarm Host on cooldown, that's just pure inertia.
That's pure. That's stroked beef, mate. That's what that is. That's just useless right now for Gamja. But Gamja, he did have just barely enough reinforcements to push ArT away. And again, he's not looking to like fight the main army. He just wants to survive long enough, and he has for those Locusts to recharge.
Once again, gonna be trying to besiege ArT's. I almost said settlements. More strategic base, his fresher bases. Which could honestly be a little bit tricky for him.
Like he's been playing too much Crusader Kings. Is that?
I may have been.
Oh boy, but here we go. The Swarm Hosts are across the map. The Locusts are looking to lay siege. Maybe once again get on top of the High Templar.
They are a lot more well protected this time though, Light. But a couple of Storms do get, I want to say, wasted on top of these Locusts. On the one hand, it clears out the Locusts, and these Storm Hosts are still very much on cooldown, but on the other hand, they're also free units. Yeah,
to be fair, like free units for energy, like that's a decent trade for Protoss, right? Especially when your main army, like he's got 5 Immortals now, like he can just A move and push into like the Roach Ravager. Like, let's be real here, like this army is still terrifying.
And very much exposed, Light! And a couple will pop out now, but man, oh man, what was that, 4? Swarm Host being taken out right over there. Forced to use the Locust a little bit preemptively, so yeah, that's just a wave that Gamja does have available to him right now. Massive warping into the main base.
The greatest fire. The Spire.
He's finally starting to pick Gamja apart.
Oh god, he's so close, and it looks like the Spire will go down.
Absolutely massive pickoff here for ArT.
Oh god, at the same time, his main army is pushing on forward, looking to try and hit his 4th base, his 3rd base, sorry. The Locust Wave, it's not ready yet. There are links. Bailing speed did finish up. Ooh, the Immortals are a little bit exposed.
Yeah, just a little bit though. The Storms will be able to secure them.
Ooh, and with
Storm
that,
does deal friendly fire, but it's much better friendly fire Immortals than anything else.
Yeah, and again, those Immortals 2 went down for free to those Lings. They were a little bit too far forward. Meanwhile, speaking of being too far forward, yo, the Locusts, the Swarm Host, okay.
I thought they were gonna go right behind the middle line, to be honest, Light.
Oh boy. But this is scary because enough time has passed where now there are carriers. Like, what is the anti-air looking like for Gamja? I did see he made a couple of corruptors, but where are they?
Counterpoint though, like corrosive vials. Enough said.
I feel like not enough was said there, mate. Oh boy,
Too much was said, honestly.
We'll see if there are enough corruptors here to really go toe-to-toe with the carriers. Aye. It's not just 3 carriers anymore, mate. It's 5.
5 plus a Void Ray, plus 2 Void Rays, actually. Not Void Rays with plus 2 weapons. I mean, 2 Void Rays.
With plus 1 weapons.
Yeah. It's honestly pretty good on its own, especially if the main anti-carry unit is corruptors and they're still in a fairly low amount at the moment.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, Gamja has done a really good job at just, like, fighting on the fringe bases. Like, 16 probes just went down to bailing run-bys. Like, that's honestly huge. He was able to deny a 5th base, and that's going to be the big thing for ArT right now. ArT needs a 5th, whether it's here on the right, whether it's on the left, whether it's a high gas one, whatever. He just needs another base. Otherwise, he's going to run out. Like, again, going into Skytos, it's incredibly expensive.
Absolutely is, and ArT is still working on trying to build his bank up right now. I will say that something that I actually kind of like is his worker count is pretty low at the moment, which normally would be pretty bad, especially if you're not already maxed out, but I mean ArT is pretty close to maxing out here.
Yeah, it doesn't...
He's gonna be able to have a much bigger army than Gamja.
Exactly. Like, a large Protoss army is huge, but oh, the High Templar! Ah!
Very exposed, but thankfully there were a couple of shield batteries over here to protect them.
Forced to turn into Archons.
I also like what you said earlier on. The large Protoss army is huge.
Yeah, exactly. Like, a maxed out Protoss army is like...
just large.
Yeah, like 50 supply Protoss against 50 supply Zerg. Like, you want to be the Protoss in that scenario.
Absolutely.
Oh boy. And yeah.
Largeness of it.
Oh boy. The size of that beef, mate.
It's about to be picked off just like so. ArT has so much anti-air on his hands. And a very good variety of anti-air as well. He's got some AoE with the Archons and the Storms. He's got the single target shots with the Stalkers, and of course Void Rays just for that anti-armor.
Yeah, it's also important to note that even though both players are maxed out, again, some of the supply is in things like these Swarm Hosts. The Swarm Hosts will eventually go down. The main army of Gamja is looking to try and lay siege upon the newest 5th base of ArT, but what's important, the shield batteries are already done, mate. Overcharge is going to be available.
That they will, and I feel like Gamja just has way too few corruptors with this army. A little bit preemptive with morphing them into Brute Lords. He needs to win the Sky Battle before he wins the Battle on the ground, and right now he's really winning neither. GG is called, and ArT, he is abstract. He takes game number 1.
That he does. GG, well played. Really beautifully played, to be honest. Gamja, he was kind of a little bit all over the place. I love the kind of variety that he was really showing off, you know, with the Swarm Host into eventual Brood Lords. But at the end of the day, mate, ArT, Skytos, it's pretty good.
It really is. A little bit disappointed that he didn't quite show us some of his more cheeky plays that we kind of know him for. Well, I kind of know him for that. I'm not sure about you, Light.
I feel like we don't know that about him.
I watched one game of ArT before this, so
we casted a series.
That one game is no, we casted one game. It was the Ace match.
Oh yeah, it was the Ace match between him and Brad. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Remember last week whenever that happened.
God damn it. But here we go. We are going to be getting into game number 2 between these two players, and Gamja, a very interesting style when it comes to his overall composition, so we'll see what else he has to offer.
That we shall here on ArT side. L-E. We're here in the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. We have the pink Protoss player, another one of those alliteration Protoss players. He is coming out from the land of Korea, but originally from the land of Poland, otherwise known as the land of Oxide. I think that's what it is, right? Representing Alpha X, he is ArT. Very expressive.
Very much so, very much so. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the South Korean Zerg player. He is blue. He is representing Team GP. He is returning to StarCraft, and we'll see how he does here against this foreigner. It is Gamja.
I actually have a quick question here.
Go for it.
Gamja is not Gomsujang, right?
No,
Like
no.
a sauce. I don't think Gamja is a sauce either.
I was about to say Gomsujang is an
It's a
Indonesian
spicy
player.
sauce.
He's Quantel,
Yeah,
mate.
It's a hot sauce.
He's Protoss as well, not Zerg.
Yeah, and also Vivaldi.
That's a different
no, Vivaldi
Indonesian.
and Quantel are different.
They are different. God damn it! It's been a
Maybe.
while. I miss
all-
our Indonesian boys. It's been a while since we've seen
Yeah.
them.
Really has. But I imagine we should be seeing a little more of them coming out for DreamHack later on in the year.
We
It's
should.
where we usually see a lot of representation from some of the more fringe communities, you might say.
Yeah. I even saw Miyamika was like pinging Quantel to play in PSL this season. Fortunately, he did not play in the qualifiers, but it would have been nice to see.
Yeah.
Boy.
So that brings me back to the question, though: is Gamja a sauce, or am I thinking of something else?
You're probably thinking of soy sauce.
It's probably. I'm thinking of Gomsujang sauce.
Maybe.
Oh
maybe.
no, I don't think it's a Gomsujang sauce. I think that's what's it called? Redundant.
Gamja.
I don't know a lot of Korean.
I just like the word Gamja. I like it. It's good.
Gamja. Oh, apparently, wait. It might be. Hold on. Korean sweet soy glazed potatoes. Oh, so I guess it's it's more of a baked potato, sweet potato.
Sweet potato.
Yeah.
There you go.
Raised sweet potato, it seems.
Yeah.
You can have
So,
it like the bodak sauce.
so we have the Polish against a potato.
Dude, no wonder ArT is just eating him.
Yeah, eating him raw, mate. Oh god.
Well, speaking of eating potatoes, Void Ray coming out from ArT. That's him really saying, I have a potato peeler.
Exactly. ArT is looking to ferment Gamja and make some vodka.
Yeah? But with that bokum. No, not bokum. Bodak.
There you go. Duck.
Duck. He's streaming again.
He is.
If we're on the topic of old school players.
Oh boy.
Another Heart of Swarm. I actually had it was actually a really interesting story with Duck throughout his 2013. But not going to elaborate too much on that. Gamja trying to provide a little bit of pressure with his Zerglings, but not quite finding it. Chased away by these Void Rays. He's going to have to find a different angle.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what Gamja's plan is here, because once again, he's doing it where he has no tech, he has no Roach Warren, he has no Baneling Nest, he has no Evo Chambers, and he's going straight into Lair. If he takes the rest of his gases, I guess he's going to go into, okay, not Spire, he's going straight into Hydras. Oh boy.
Oh, this is perfect for ArT, ain't it?
It is.
Yes, he's pulling a little bit of a zest right now. He is not at all committed to the Stargate play like Gamja thinks he is. Instead, he's going for that Void Ray Oracle straight into Glaive Depths. Many Glaive Depths at that.
This is disastrous. So the problem is that, again, Gamja has no scouting information whatsoever. He hasn't been able to get into the main base. He doesn't know what the follow-up is to that Stargate, and he is gambling right now. He is rolling the dice, and he is hoping that ArT is going double Stargate Void Ray. Right now, Glaive Adepts, as you said, Glaive Adepts, they love light units. They're just gonna have their way with them.
They really are. Even with that Groove Spine upgrades, that's not really going to stop the Adepts once they jump right on top of once they shade right on top of all those Hydras. Really important that ArT has not revealed his hand yet. Resonating Glaives is about to finish up.
It
Gamja
is.
still doesn't know about it.
He has no idea. We've got plenty of adepts who are going to be shading across the map, and we'll see how much damage they can deal. As, again, Gamja, what does he need? He needs to throw down some spies. He needs to focus on nothing but army production. He's a little bit supply blocked right now. He's got 2 overlords on the way. He's got his queens. He's trying to consolidate his forces.
All of these Hydras are right next to each other, like.
Oh, is he going to commit?
Adepts are shading right on top of them. And look at that, eviscerating the Hydras one after another. But the queens are killing a heck of a lot of those adepts. Even though the glaive adepts did have a lot of attack speed on their side, Hydras, they have a very fast attack speed as well.
Yeah, part of me feels like it was maybe a mistake from ArT to focus fire the way he did, because he was focus firing 1 Hydra at a time. I feel like A move would have been a little bit better there. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it feels like he had a little bit of overkill there.
I think
it's what,
a
4?
little. Yeah,
adept hits to kill
I feel like a little
Hydra.
bit is an understatement there. Yeah, that was a lot of wasted DPS, and now Gamja is going to be going across the map. I mean, ArT is well aware of like the composition. We'll see how he's able to do here. The shield batteries are just barely going to finish up.
And just like that, battery overcharge is just about popped. Not quite as good target firing coming down here from Gamja. So yeah, actually the adepts managed to survive quite a little bit. Get healed up by the shield batteries, and oh, I'm dropping a few frames.
Oh no, Yaku, please. What I was about to say is, honestly, ArT defended pretty well. The problem is that it was like 5 or 6 lings were hitting the mineral line, the 3rd base mineral line, and as a result, 15 drones went down. Like, that was disastrous for ArT. He defended well, but he also exposed his mineral line as a result. Now he's going for a bit of a counterattack, which, I mean, can go toe-to-toe with this army. Sure, it can, but yeah, it's just not enough to just commit and go across the map.
Yeah, not quite. Not quite yet. You didn't get any lag there, did you?
No. The game was perfectly
okay,
fine.
That's good.
That's all good.
My computer is trying to understand what it's really seeing right now from this game. Because we really do not see games like this in a long, long time. This is Ling Hydra coming out from Gamja to deal with Colossus.
Yeah, Ling Bane Hydra to add to that. We do have +1 melee on the way. Meanwhile, ArT is committing to Colossus for his AoE of choice, which again does make a lot of sense. It can be really risky to commit to High Templar just because Ling Bane, they close the gap really quickly and get on top of your army. So Colossus are a really good way at just having that consistent AoE damage. So we'll see what happens here. The big tech of choice that's missing for Gamja are lurkers. Lurkers would be amazing right now.
Absolutely. With their upgrades, they just about outrange a regular Colossus, and I think they might be. Yeah, I think they're only slightly. With range upgrade, they're only slightly. What's the word I'm thinking of here? Like shorter than Thermal Lance. Also, really good against the charge hits too.
They're good against everything basically. Like Hydra Lurker Viper in this scenario would be ideal. It's a composition that has fallen out of fashion, just because, like, again, Colossus are kind of not seen too often in today's meta. Because of how vulnerable they are to things like Vipers, to Abducts, and then eventually the Lurkers come in as well. But to be fair, that's tech that we're talking about that we aren't seeing. Gamja still doesn't have that hive.
Yeah, it has an opportunity to maybe throw down the infestation pit pretty soon, and oh, it's not my computer. It's actually my connection to Asia. That's good to hear.
Is it good to hear? That time the game did freeze there. So
yeah, it showed me that they were attempting to reconnect.
Yeah. Oh boy. So hopefully, hopefully everything's okay. If you are forced to DC, then of course I can always screen share on Discord. Meanwhile, oh my god, we have a surround being set up.
Just like so, all these Banelings are looking to crash in. Look at those force fields so light, blocking every single one of those Banelings. Just about the best defense ArT could have gotten. Beautifully done. That's why they call him ArT, because look at those force fields.
Oh god, did we speak too soon though? The Banelings are gonna crash in!
Right on top of these Colossus. But he will be able to keep the majority of them alive. Battery overcharge going to be helping once more. And you know what? That's the thing about ArT. Sometimes you got to make mistakes.
Exactly. Sometimes, if you look at it and you squint a little bit, it just doesn't look right, mate. And what's happening right now, DTs are pushing on forward. There's no detection. I don't know why he's really turning around. He can fight with the DTs, and now the Colossus go down.
Just like so. But again, where's the detection? ArT has a couple of cannons, but I tell you what, like, that's detection for him.
Exactly. Aye. So ArT may be needlessly losing 2 Colossus there for free, and now ArT, like, he's down in supply. He lost his high-tech units. Gamja, like, he's got all this momentum going for him. He can just keep applying pressure here at the 4th. He's gonna try and break him.
Honestly, I think he's gonna be able to. He can continue to reinforce this point over and over and over again. There's really no way for ArT to be able to hold at this particular position. I feel like best case scenario, he holds at a different base, but no, GG is gonna have to be called once more. Like, we're getting there at ace match. Gamja bringing back the ancient techniques.
GG, well played, as Gamja ties up the series. And oh god, ArT, there was some amazing moments there. There were beautiful force fields that just completely cut off those banelings from the rest of the army, but that was all his energy used. Like, he didn't have enough sentries.
That was his magnum opus, question mark? Is that the correct?
That was his Mona Lisa?
Yeah. And just like Mona Lisa, never painted again. Had to forfeit that game.
Is that what she did? Did she never paint again?
Wait, hold on. So, she painted her fingers with a close precision.
There you go.
And then he started to notice empty bottles of gin.
What are you reading? I'm gonna have to ask you to stop if you're reading something from like DeviantArt or something, like some kind of fan fiction. I don't know.
At the disco. Okay, so it's copyrighted. We can't actually read that. That's it. He wanted to believe. Something along those lines.
I am shaking my head as the players did ask for a small break, but it looks like they have returned. And
okay. Gamja is ready. ArT just needs a little quick second. He needs to check his recipe book once more to see how to properly cook a ganja.
That he does. Meanwhile, if you want to have a look at the bracket, !B in the chat, and you can see there have been a couple of updates.
I actually haven't seen that yet, so I'm gonna take a quick little look.
It's a very juicy quarterfinals match going on right now.
Ooh.
And it better be being casted.
Oh, it's our 2 boys. Actually, as I'm not production, I can check to see if somebody's casting that.
Yeah, as there are 2 English streams today for ESL Open Cup Asia. There are ourselves alongside Pig, so hopefully someone is casting Ryung versus Creator, because that is going on right now in the quarterfinals, and it would be a travesty if that's not being casted.
Really would. We would have to like request a replay if it wasn't.
I'm gonna have to like ping. I'm gonna have to have a talk with Pig if he's not casting that, mate.
Well, we'll get that update out of the way after this ad plays, as we get this intro done. In the top left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top left-hand corner, the pink Protoss player, spawning here on Light Shade. He is coming down from the land of Korea, representing Poland. He is gonna have to make a symphony of colors, I think that's what it's called, representing Alpha X. He is ArT.
A Vivaldi, if you will. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the old-school South Korean player. He is a blue, representing Team GP. It is Gamja, the potato himself.
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask you, wait, did I say something wrong?
What?
You said Vivaldi, and I was like, wait, did I show the wrong player? I said ArT, right?
Yeah, ArT, yeah.
Representing Alpha X, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, we're not casting Vivaldi. He, unfortunately, is not in this bracket. But yes, I do have confirmation for you. Light Pig is currently casting Ryung versus Creator.
Oh, thank God.
It's Team Envy versus Team GP.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
everyone in this chat they're noticing it as well. What year is it that we're looking at right now? Like Ryung versus Creator, Gamja is here, Puzzle. He's playing against Armani right now, not Dongregu, but
Yeah, Dongregu in the bracket as well. Armani is probably the most modern player who is here.
the most modern Korean player, I would say.
Yeah, and
ArT is fairly new to the scene as well.
He is. And what I would say is Armani is by far the strongest player in the entire tournament right now.
He's big words. I can't say I disagree with you, Light, but but I think you can make a very strong case for some of these other players.
I mean, Dongregu did struggle to make it into Code A this season. I mean, yeah, we'll see.
Special is playing. You can never count out Creator. It is # your Creator.
Yeah, again.
Although I will agree he's not as favored as someone like Armani.
Yeah, I would say Armani is like the big boss, and everyone's gonna have to be looking to take him down. And it's possible. It is quite possible. It isn't a sure thing that he takes the championship. But, before we get too ahead of ourselves, we're still here in this ace match.
Yeah, one of these players might really pull off an upset against, I believe Special is on this side of the bracket. So that could happen.
Yeah, it is possible that maybe Special can upset one of these players. We will see, as so far two adepts are, actually denying quite a lot of mining here at the natural.
Yeah. Gamja is getting right back onto it, but he is being very conservative. He does not want to lose a single drone, so it's actually kind of pre-pulling them.
Yeah, and mates, I was curious as the Robo is on the way. Once again, we are seeing Glaive Adepts, not as committed as the earlier Glaive Adepts that we saw, as this will be joined by a Warp Prism. Oh.
Will go down. Nice pick off for Gamja over here. Depths are a unit that scale very, very well, so you definitely want to take out as many of them as you can earlier on. Gamja, meanwhile, he is just straight up Ling flooding.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's a lot of Lings on the way. Nothing but Lings on the way for Gamja. And I feel like that's maybe a little bit disastrous because there are going to be Glaive Adepts behind the wall. To be fair, there is no shield battery. Oh god, and mate, it's still nothing but Lings.
It really is not. There's nothing but Lings. It looks like that Cybercore is a little bit exposed as well. There is a lot that Gamja can do right now before ArT gets the critical mass of Glaive Adepts. Glaives is still quite a ways off.
That it is, and the Lings are trying to flood on in. The Gateway did lose all its shields, but again, even without Glaives, Adepts are just beautiful against Lings, mate.
They really were. You can see the DPS output from Gamja just get completely cut in half after a couple of Lings were shaved off.
Oh, but you know what? All the Lings do bypass the Adepts of ArT, and now all that DPS that we were talking about, it's not here, it's not at the natural, and the Gateway's gonna go down.
Just like so. There is a secondary wall being set up, but all of these more warping in buildings are at an incredibly low health. The Cybercore gets taken out. I can't even catch my words right now. Very good pick off here for Gamja. ArT cannot remake any Adepts right now. Massive wrench thrown in his plans.
Yeah, honestly, this is huge. Like, losing the Cybercore like that when you're going for a Glaive Adept push is massive. As you said, no more Adepts for ArT, at least until that Cybercore is remade, and we see he is looking to try and transition, and a Robotics Bay gets turned down.
How are we feeling here? Like Colossus once again, or Disruptors?
I hope Disruptor.
Yeah, I think Disruptors are... I'm with you on that. I think Disruptors are the more effective unit.
That they are. Meanwhile, ArT is trying to be as, efficient as possible with the Adepts, as he does send 2 to the natural and 2 to the third base, and honestly, he's getting quite a number of drone kills.
Really is. He didn't even need to make any more Adepts here. He's just multi-pronging as best he can, and Gamja kind of falling for it.
Yeah, losing quite a number. Again, ArT has to be careful. The Warp Prism has lost a lot of health, and this Warp Prism is so important for the follow-up plan. He is going to be going for Disruptor drops. We do see Warp Prism speed is on the way, but it's going to be a little bit difficult to pull it off when, the Warp Prism has already taken so much damage.
It really has. Literally at half health, both shields and health. Hull armor, that's the term.
There you go.
So yeah, just a couple of whacks from the queens, and ArT is going to be in a very precarious position.
And it's also possible that he may not even need the disruptors because the cybercore has been remade. He can continue to warp in at depths. And what is there to defend? Where are those roaches? Roaches are on the way, but they're not ready quite yet. Don't commit.
They're only now starting to pop out. Oh, decent surround right now for ArT, but I think there is just not enough. What's the word I'm thinking of here? Like surface area for these Zerglings. There are just an insane amount of adepts out at the moment.
Exactly, like there aren't any roaches. There's two roaches in this army, and that is not going to be enough. Everything at the third base was taken out. A couple of stray roaches are going to be taken out. And again, as I was saying, he doesn't even need the disruptors. He's just going to win this off of adepts.
Man.
Oh god, no, the third, it's going to go down. He has to save it, please.
He should be able to hold on to it just barely with these roaches and with these queens out, but mate, ArT is shading back into the natural base where there's much less defenses, and he's cleaving his way through.
That he is, as all the lings go down. There are a couple of roaches, but again, they're busy in the natural, and he's about to commit to the shade into the main.
Right on top of Spine, but Spine is the least of ArT's concerns right now. Gamja just not the best at splitting up his army at the moment. To be fair, he doesn't have a lot of army to spare, so yeah he does kind of have to concentrate his forces for each position.
That he does, as the adepts shade into the natural base. More drones going down. Gamja, he is down to 37, and as all this is happening, the War Prison went back home and now has picked up those two disruptors.
And if you're a Zerg player in this position, you think, all right, I have to go all in, counterattack, right?
That's what he's doing. Yeah, but you know what? The disruptors, they have something to say about that.
Well, they didn't articulate it very well.
No, they did not.
None of Nova's hit, but that is still such a massive threat right now that Gamja, he does have to pull back for just a little while to make sure that he can actually pull off the all-in.
Exactly.
Making his drones.
Yeah,
not
like
all in anymore.
Gamja was about to go across the map, and the disruptors reveal themselves, and they force Gamja to stay at home to defend and to drone up, because he knows that if he went across the map and tried to go for an all-in, he'd lose. Like, the disruptors would put an end to that. Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed.
And
meanwhile, ArT has not let up whatsoever. He's moving in with so many sentries and a good number of what's the word? Immortals as well. That was a very nice split from Gamja. But those disruptors are still keeping the entirety of his attention. Here comes the rest of the army light, and it is not looking pretty.
And do you know something that's missing, mate? There's only one.
Everything.
There's only one Ravager, and oh no, he's gonna force field the ramp, but he can force field whatever he wants. Ay.
GG does get called, and ArT, he shows that he has a recipe for Gamja. Well played.
GG, well played indeed, as ArT does take down his opponent. He does eat the potato in the end, as he does many times over, and he moves on to the next round.
Indeed he does, to face winner of Special versus Kim. They are currently in the middle of the series, and Light, you were mentioning it just now, but man, we have such an upset here on the bracket. Puzzle takes out Armani 2-1.
Wow, he's back. Oh my god, the ex-Slayers player Puzzle. It went all the way to the ace match. I can't believe it. Again, it's a travesty that it wasn't casted. There were only 2 English streams, but wow, he did it. He took down Armani. That's crazy.
There we go. He's the new favorite. That's how it's that's how that works. Oh boy. Now it's all up in the air, mate. This could go anyone's way. Like if Puzzle can take down Armani, he can go toe to toe with the RG.